Again. I'm just gonna get started on this video. Sorry. I had a long day. So as you can see, this is Eric Reid from the 49ers. And well, used to be on the 49ers, but but NFL was a jerk to kick him out. But before I get started, there's gonna be some profanity in the video, so you gotta pause and get your kids out the room. Well, not even pause, you know the drill. So you know what happened with him, like how the NFL was mad because he was still supporting Colin Kaepernick and also still taking a knee. And now, but now he was. They also blackballed him too. Unfortunately, with but he Eric Reid just recently just got a job with the Carolina Panthers, and he's still protesting. So shout out to the brother. So now Eric Reid is on the news because he called out Malcolm Jenkins. So I was like, and Malcolm Jenkins is a fucking fool for what he did. But let's see what happened. Let's see. Eric Reid calls Malcolm Jenkins a corrupt sellout after near physical altercation during pre-game Sunday. So Eric Reid called Philadelphia Eagles safety Malcolm Jenkins a sellout after the two were in a heated altercation before the Carolina Panthers 21-17 victory over the Eagles October 21st. Even though I don't watch football, but either way, congratulations, Eric Reid. According to the two reports, Reid and Jenkins had to be separated from each other after the game to confront each other the midfield during pregame warm-up Sunday. Excuse me, sorry, just got sniffles. After the game, Reid spoke with reporters on why he has beef with Jenkins, so explaining how he believed the Eagles' safety is a sellout against the black community. So, in quote, we believe the players should have stepped up for Colin Kaepernick, and I believe Malcolm capitalized on the situation. He co-opted the movement that was started by Colin to get his organization funded. It's cowardly. He sold us out. Reid told reporters per Bleacher Report. So this isn't the first time Reid blasted Jenkins. He first called Jenkins a sellout a year ago when Eagles star announced that he had negotiated a deal to stop protesting during the national anthem after the NFL agreed to spend roughly $90 million to award groups dedicated to social reform. Yep, that's where Jenkins fucked up. Jenkins had negotiated the deal on behalf of the Players Coalition group made up of the NFL players in an effort to use their platform to fight against social injustices, well, mainly police brutality. But Reid was a member of a group, but left immediately after Jenkins negotiated the deal with the owners. Exactly. So and shout out to Reid for doing that. Reid told Slate magazine last year that Jenkins agreed to the deal with the league without discussing it with the rest of the group, ultimately undermining the protest of players. And he also called the deal a charade, explaining how the league would only have to donate $89 million over 7 years, which would be no skin off the backs of the owners' backs, considering how money could be allocated away from the other social initiatives that the league had already dedicated funds to. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue twisted. I had a long day. Let's see. Let's see, where was I? Okay, yeah. In discussion that we had, Malcolm Jenkins conveyed us based on discussions that he had with the NFL owners, which he did, that the money would come from funds that are already allocated to breast cancer awareness and salute to service. Reid told Slade. So it really would be no skin off the owners' backs. So they would just move the money from those programs to this one. Reid, who currently has a suit against the NFL for collusion. I'll just say alleged, like loosely, to keep him from unsigned the majority of the year because of his involvement in the protest during the anthem. And notice I said allegedly loosely because I mean, take off the alleged, because that's what they did to Eric Reid. They tried to screw him over and try to blackball him. Said Sunday that he feels the same way about Jenkins and the Players Coalition a year later. Jenkins was corrupt from the jump, Reid told reporters, and he knew what he was doing from the offset, and his goal was to sell us out, and he did that. So the Players Coalition funded subversion group is an NFL subversion group. Sorry, tongue twisted. So that's why I removed myself from them, and I'll keep moving forward with Colin. Reid continued, adding that he'll continue kneeling during the anthem in protest of systematic oppression and neocolonialism. Jenkins was told of Reid's comments Sunday that he chose not to criticize Reid back, instead praising the Panthers' safety for his social activism. So he said, I would not. I said I would never get up here and say anything bad about somebody I know whose intentions are real about helping in their community, especially another black man. So I'll leave it at that. So Jenkins said, according to NBC Sports, I'm glad he has a job and I'm glad he's back in the league. Shout out to Eric Reid. Shout out to that brother. Still staying on code, keep doing your thing, and you let them know that he still got Collins back. And what's funny is like he was like wanted like very like a small segment. I mean, a lot of people, especially the black community, did like came to the defense of Colin Kaepernick. I don't know why the fuck my computer's weird like that, but I mean either way, shout out to him for having Colin Kaepernick's back. And the thing is, though, and there was a lot of people who went after Kaepernick. I wasn't surprised there was people outside the black community that shit on him because there's anti-blackness. Especially with there's people who identify as non-black people of color who have these anti-black mentalities, especially with what Colin Kaepernick's doing, and also, then sad, there was even some within the community. You got your bootlickers that shitted on Colin Kaepernick. You know, like your Mike Vicks, your Snuffleupagus, Stephen A. Smith, who just recently attacked Eric Reid for calling Michael Jenkins a sellout, which Malcolm, I think I said it's Malcolm Jenkins, not Michael. So I'm sorry, I had a long day, but yeah, that's the piece of shit who sold out. But yeah, and then of course you got your, and the funny thing is though, like how he like Colin Kaepernick, he identifies as a black man, and he knows who he is, and plus his parents even told him the truth, like, look, son, you're gonna get treated differently because you're black. They didn't say that whole biracial shit, because and plus these people who identify as so-called biracial, like your Sage Steele and your Dak Prescotts and people like Meghan Markle shitted on Colin Kaepernick. It just goes to show the ones who identify as so-called biracial are shitting on Colin Kaepernick. Even though Colin Kaepernick, he identifies as a black man and he knows he's a black man, and well, especially with what the shit he had to deal with living under a system of white supremacy and anti-black racism. And he's a proud black man. That's the difference. But it just goes to show that's why I don't use the term biracial. That term is only just used to make people distance themselves from being black and run away from blackness. It was just only just used just to break black people down into groups. That's why I refuse to use that term. I only say in quotations, so-called. Okay? So yeah, but either way, Colin Kaepernick, shout out to you, for standing up for what's right. And then Eric Reid, and thank you for still having Colin Kaepernick's back. And of course, Colin Kaepernick got his back too. And Eric Reid, hold your head high, keep doing your thing, and you got my love, got my support right here. And shout out to you again.